Late at night, I quietly hid in the bathroom and video called my husband to let him know I was safe. We'd barely spoken a few words when I suddenly heard noise outside the door. My face changed, and I hung up the call in a panic. Right after, my colleague pushed the door open. I didn't know if my husband had seen this, and my heart was pounding. I immediately had my colleague drive me home. On the road, my husband kept calling, but I hung up every time because I was afraid of getting caught. I didn't realize then that this move would make me regret it for the rest of my life. We arrived at a gas station, and I got out and walked into the convenience store to buy coffee to stay awake. When I got to the register with my coffee to pay, I found there was no clerk in the store at all. I had to leave the cash on the counter and was about to leave when I looked up and saw the shelves ahead were covered in blood. My heart tightened and I quickened my pace to leave. The next second, sharp pain shot through my arm. I'd been shot. I looked at the blood on my hand, still trying to figure out what was happening, when another bullet shattered the glass and nearly hit my head. That's when I realized someone was trying to kill me. I quickly hid behind the shelves and yelled out to my colleague outside for help. But my colleague sat in the car with no reaction at all, seeming completely unaware of the danger. I could only save myself. I tore off some fabric from my clothes to bandage the wound. After treating the wound, I tried to look out the window again, and bullets flew over, almost blowing my head off. Now I was completely panicked. I crawled on the ground trying to pick up my dropped phone to call for help, but another bullet came and completely destroyed my phone, destroying my hope too. I slumped on the ground, not knowing what to do. Suddenly, a man's voice came from the register area. I looked around for the source of the sound and discovered it was a walkie-talkie. But there was over a meter of open space between the register and me. If I went for it rashly, the shooter would see me. To distract the shooter, I grabbed 2 bags of chips from the shelf and threw them outside. Taking advantage of this moment, I rushed over and grabbed the walkie-talkie, asking the person on the other end to call the police for help. The person asked about my situation, but before I could explain clearly, the walkie-talkie got interference and started cutting in and out. Even worse, my colleague also walked into the convenience store and the next second fell in a pool of blood. I was devastated, but still forced myself to stay alert and tried to get the walkie-talkie again. It was my last chance at survival.